Partnerem videa je Xiaomi se svým modelem 15 Ultra, které vyniká špičkovým jednopalcovým 50 megapixelovým hlavním snímačem s kalibrací Leica a podporou 8K videa.
Ahoj, vítejte na fDrive.cz, vítejte na veletrhu e-salon v Praze a já tady mám dneska naprosto výjimečného hosta, protože do Prahy k nám přijel samotný šéfdesignér Volkswagenu Andreas Mindt, který má na svědomí i dvě auta, která tady máme a která se dostanou na trh v příštím roce a v přespříštím roce. Já teďka přepnu do angličtiny a můžete se těšit na spoustu zajímavých informací o designu, exteriéru a interiéru nových elektrických Volkswagenů, protože nás čeká fakt velká změna. Pojďme na to. So, I will switch to English. Thank you for your time.
My Czech is not the best, so.
I know, yes, I know. I guess the English is better because my German is not great either, even though I learned.
So we meet in the middle.
Yeah, we meet in the middle in English on a safe ground.
Yeah.
So, regarding design, you are always in all the interviews and so on saying that you want to go back to the original and core design of Volkswagen, what people expect from Volkswagen. And we can already see that this ID Cross, which is coming next year, is really different from the current ID 734 design. What do you think people expect from Volkswagen, and what's the change about here in the ID Cross?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question because first of all, we need to talk about how to do a proper Volkswagen. Yeah, and we made this analyze. Yeah, we sit down before we sketch a car. We say, let's sit down and think about it. Yeah, and we came up with three things: it's stability, should look stable, and then it's likable, it's like positive and optimistic. And then the third one is the secret sauce. So what makes it special?
What's the secret sauce?
Exactly, yeah. Secret sauce is something exciting, you know, something special, something we put on top of that. For instance, when I say it's stable, that means look at the wheel arches, they're really strong. That means we have a slim body and wide axle. And we have that in the front and in the rear. And that makes the car stable. It looks, for the customer or the onlooker, see that we have a really stable sitting car and not falling over in the corners, you know, and that is stability. But at the same time, it looks sporty, yeah, and that is the secret sauce, yeah, the hidden sportiness, yeah. When I talk about the Golf GTI, that's a perfect example. It has a lot of secret sauce, but it's just a standard car. But it's not boring, yeah. You can drop the kids in the school, you can go for groceries, you can do everything, but it's very, very special. You can go on the racetrack and have fun. And this kind of connection is really interesting because you connect practicality with sportiness. And this is exactly here. You see, it's very stable, very simplified as well. When you look at the door panel here, it's really simplified. It's pure design. Yeah, we name it pure positive because it's an attitude. It's a pure shape, there's positive tension in it, but it's an attitude. Yeah, we are saying let's do it optimistic. And we reduced, let's say, additional elements. Yeah, and this is the departure to the future of Volkswagen. Mm-hmm. So we are going back to the brand values, and the details are modern. We modernize that. We don't go backwards. We don't do retro design. We don't do this. We go into the future. You see it especially in the front end. Maybe we can have a look here in the front end. You see, it's very modern element. Yeah, it's we have a 3D animation from the depths. There are certain steps. We have this animation, so it's going to be very modern and optimistic at the same time. So you have this uplifting elements that are very, very positive.
The ID Cross is the second in line regarding new EVs. The first one will be the first half of the next year ID Polo.
Yes.
The ID Cross, if I remember correctly, is the second half of the next year. So, but people kind of like and hate concepts at the same time.
Yeah.
This is the ID Cross concept, which is not a production car. Can you tell me how close this car is to the real one, which we'll be seeing next year?
Yeah, we say it's 80% production ready, what you see here, and 20% show car. Okay. So I can spoil a little bit. The front screen, the side screen, and all the elements you see in total are the real elements already.
Okay.
But let's say the wheel is slightly bigger. This is 21 inch in diameter. and later we're going to have 20-inch. And then we have show car elements like this. The rim is connected to the rubber, to the tire.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and this is something you cannot do for production cars. But here we are able to do that. We have certain patterns. When you look closer in here, a lot of hidden elements that we bring into production as well.
And those small things like your Volkswagen branding and so on, this is something you want to use on the real car, so this is just for a show car?
Yes, you will, let's say, discover these hidden little elements, and it's not exactly like that, but similar to that. Yeah, we're going to have that, and we name that, part of the secret sauce. A little bit of twinkle in the eye to do a little bit more fun with this. Very important for us.
Speaking of the back, this is really very similar to the ID Polo, that new design. Yeah. So this is something you want to use on all ID cars from ID Polo onwards. Yeah,
the tumblers in the rear light. We have an internal nickname, we call them whiskey glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, because a whiskey glass has thick glass, really thick glass. Okay. When it's falling on the floor, it's not breaking. When you have glass of champagne, it breaks. Yeah, and even the details, the stability I was talking about, is even in details. That means this is a closed element. Yeah, it's not open, it's closed. And then you have a certain depth in it to do a 3D animation, like a heartbeat from inside outside. So you have the stability in details and in the architecture. It's everywhere. For me, it's very important for the car. And that is somehow like a family design. It's recognizable and hopefully then iconic, because recognizable becomes iconic later.
This is the design which us Europeans will get.
Yes.
But recently, Volkswagen announced a few Chinese-oriented cars which are design-wise completely different.
Completely different.
So why is the reason for that, and why the taste of Chinese is so different from ours in Europe, and how? Why is not possible to bring this to China?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, very interesting question that you have. And because China is a very big country, when you go from north to south, it's thousands of kilometers. And when you travel in Europe from south to north, you're in Finland or you're in Portugal, and the people are different. The customers are different, and we analyzed that and found out the customers in north of China are different to the south. They are more down to earth, hand on the arm, they are more blue collar, they are more, people that are everyday life heroes, and so we designed a car for them in this area. So, and then in the south you have more big cities, like more business people and so on. So we designed a car for these people. So we analyzed the customers and made it match to the design. And then we turned it into show cars first, which was in early this year. And early next year, you see the production version of that. There's ID Evo, ID Aura, ID Era. So all these three cars coming to the market next year. Starting very early with the ID Evo. It was announced already. So we are on the way to show the production version. That is in the middle of China. And then later we're going to have the ID Era as a production version, and the ID Aura in the north. Yeah? And that is taking really the customer serious. We went there, asked them, what do you need? Where do you live? How do you live? And transferred that into the design. This is why it looks like that. And it's of course different. But we have some elements that are same globally. For instance, there's a VW badge in the center of the light element. We have this in the front, in the rear, and globally for all these cars. So we have some elements which are globally the same to distinguish the brand. And then of course you have the regions, and then of course you have the segments. This is how we design.
And of course I noticed that you talked about the departure or bringing back some physical elements to the interior back for European models, some knobs and so on. But when I see the Chinese concepts, it's full of displays only. This is like completely different. So there people don't need physical buttons, they just need displays?
Yeah, actually yes. First of all, yes. They are more tech driven. They have expectations that are on the tech side on a different level. And we have to deliver that, and we can. And software architecture as well. So all of that needs to be tailor-made for the customers, and so we do. But in the meantime, we found out the haptical buttons everywhere, they start to like this even more. And we have a change in the door handles now. For instance, there's a different law now for the proper, let's say, door handles. So this is going this way even in China. There's a change of this trend right now. Let's have a look.
This is ID Everyone,
Yeah,
which is the next cheapest car or most
Yes.
affordable car
Most
in the
affordable,
Volkswagen
yeah.
portfolio. This is coming 2027.
yes.
And again, the question is how close this concept is to the real car.
It's the same thing as 80-20 or even more. Even more, it's like 90-10, you know. When I put the production car next to it, it's hard to tell the difference.
Okay.
You know, even the internal people say like, oh, that's a Shoka, and I say, no, that's production, you know. The people mix it up because they're so close to each other. So everything you see here, the basic design is going to production. Again, the wheel size is maybe 1 inch bigger than what you see later.
And also with the ID Cross and also with the ID Polo and ID Everyone, I can see that the bonnet is a little bit maybe longer than on the ID3 design. Of course, there's a real wheel car. This is a front wheel because it's an MBB Plus the entry platform.
Yeah.
Did it bring any challenges or differences in designing the car since there's a front wheel drive?
The front wheel drive was not such a problem. Actually, it was very good for the interior efficiency because all the components are in the front. And so you have a very big trunk. You will have that in ID Polo, ID Cross, and here as well.
Yeah, I saw the ID Cross in Munich. It's huge.
Yeah.
The space beneath that.
Yes.
It's
very deep. It's very deep. And the reason is all the components are in the front, just like in the past, but now we have no exhaust port anymore. And that means we can do a lower floor, which is from the floor of the car to the ceiling, very high. And in this case, 450 liter in the rear. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's a huge space that we never had before. So we are using this, and we are the only ones, I believe. I checked the competition here already today, and we see that we are on the path to have something special, a very efficient package. But you talk about the challenge, yeah? And the challenge here was to do an affordable car which looks high value at the same time. So what is the idea? It's a minimal design, so we deleted all the non-functional plastic cover parts. So there's no cladding around the wheel arches, there's no cladding on the sill, there's nothing on the roof panels. It's only very, very simplified and minimalistic design. And that's very pure again, and very, I think, very bold. Yeah.
You're right. I was recently, past week, I was in the launch of the very affordable car from a certain French brand.
Yes.
And it is like day and night, let's say.
Yeah.
And so this design approach is completely different.
It's completely different, yeah. We do it actually on purpose. Yeah, we say the front end of the car needs to be very self-confident. So this is why the face sits very high and very bold. Yeah, the bonnet is higher and longer and is connected to the body, and that makes a very powerful little car. You know, it's not apologetic. It's not like a little mouse. It's like, here I am, that's me, that's my character. And even you have an affordable car, you can be proud, you know, because the face is like this. Yeah, it's not only the face, we have the same elements we show in the front, we have in the rear as well. But when you look closer, it looks very friendly, you know, it's smiling. And that was, I said this in the beginning, it's likable, you know, and you see that in the design. We have the smiling face, we have the animated then elements, you know, it's looking left and right, it's very human. It's like an open, very friendly design. We do this in the front, in the rear, and we have exposed wheel arches, yeah, in the front and in the rear. That's for stability, very upright. And you see on the rear light, we have the same elements, yeah, the same graphical elements, and we repeat this even in the interior. Yeah, in the interior we have this element like an air outlet, and it's really matching, and you adjust in the middle with the same elements. It's really funny. We have it 3 times in the car, so it all matches together.
It has not been discussed yet much in much detail, but how would you want to transfer this new design language of yours to the existing ID cars, so with a facelift, because ID4, which should have a facelift next year, ID7 is there, ID3 and so on. So how hard is to transfer this to like the existing portfolio, and What challenges does it bring?
It's a very good question because we are going this way and we see a lot of chances and a lot of good solutions, and I'm really, let's say, proud on them. And I can't wait to show it to you. At the moment it's confidential, but
sure.
We found solutions to do so, okay. And it's going to be great. Yeah, I don't want to overpromise today, but we have some great solutions, especially in the interior as well. Because the interiors, they are more high quality. We have a lot of soft padded areas, like a modern living room in the ID Polo. And that kind of thinking we transfer in the whole portfolio. And that is the future. And we have some great ideas for that. And you will see this next year already. You know, next year we can talk about this. So when we are standing here in 1 year, the whole picture is a different one because we have the production version here and we have some other interesting cars like ID Polo production version, very close to show car. And as I say, you know, people, they mix it up internally. What is the production version? What is show car? It's the same. And I'm very happy because we had a very good feedback on the show cars. So when we transfer that into production, hopefully we have the same good feedback for these things.
You also started talking about interiors,
yes,
which is a big topic. I know that you openly accepted that the interiors of the original ID3 were, let's say, not ideal, and that you wanna depart from the basic plastic feeling and so on to something else, even with the most affordable cars. So what changes are we gonna see? Because when I saw the ID Polo, ID Everyone and so on, it was a cars full of fabric and so on, but of course they are just show cars. So what really is gonna be transferred, and what difference are we gonna see in the Volkswagens regarding materials and interior quality?
So first of all, the materials. We did never overpromise what we can deliver in production. So you will see a clear directions. And in the case of ID Polo, the interior, I like it better than the show car. You know, the production version is really nice. We found some really good fabrics that are affordable enough and for this class of car. So it's going to be great. I'm pretty sure about that. But I want to mention the interaction concept as well. So we had a lot of sliders that were disconnected from the customer. And we know this from customer surveys that they had a lot of problems with the interaction. So we changed that and we go back to physical interaction, which is a switchback in the middle that we announced this already, that you will see this in a couple of months as a production version, and that brings back a haptical experience that is really amazing and very simple to understand. So the main functions we bring back in physical knobs in the center of the dashboard, but on the steering wheel as well. So that's a big step forward, gives a lot of more value, but the interaction is easier, for all the customers we have, and I'm really looking forward for the feedback for the interior as well.
So ID Polo is coming just in a few months. So let's see.
Let's see. We meet.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. No, all the fingers crossed. But I'm pretty sure it will be nice. You know, I'm pretty sure. You always need luck, but we did a lot of homework as well to make sure it's going to be good. So.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see each other hopefully with a ID Polo premiere soon. Thank you very much. A děkuji také vám, divákům a čtenářům fDrive.cz za vaši pozornost. Budu rád, pokud si pustíte také naše další videa odsud z e-salonu nebo obecně ohledně testů aut na fDrive.cz. Mějte se krásně a elektricky jezdě zdar. Ahoj.
Ahoj.